There's no success like failure, and failure's no success at all. A cryptic yet profound lyric from Bob Dylan, an enigma in the music industry. This is not merely a line from one of his songs, but perhaps a reflection of the man himself. A man of contrast, a man of mystery, a man who became the voice of a generation. Born as Robert Allen Zimmerman in the year 1941, Dylan hails from the humble state of Minnesota, a place known for its lakes and parks and now for being the birthplace of a music legend. But before he was Bob Dylan, he was just a young boy named Robert, with a love for music that was as vast as the Minnesotan landscape. As he grew, so did his passion for rhythm and rhyme. His youthful days were filled with the sound of rock and roll, the blues and country tunes that echoed in the Zimmerman household. The soundtrack of his childhood was diverse, and it was this eclectic mix that would later shape his unique musical style. His interest in music was not a passing phase but a growing obsession. It was a language he understood, a language he spoke fluently. And soon this language would become his voice, a voice that would resonate with millions around the world. But every legend has a beginning. And for Bob Dylan, it was in the folk music scene of New York City. A young man armed with nothing but a guitar and harmonica, he set out to conquer the world. Little did he know then that he was destined to become more than just a singer-songwriter. He was destined to become an icon, a voice that would echo through the corridors of time. And so, with a heart full of dreams and a head full of songs, he left his hometown behind. So began the journey of a young boy from Minnesota, destined to revolutionize the music scene. The times, they were a-changing, and a new voice was about to make its mark. Picture a young man brimming with ambition and an undeniable talent for storytelling. He steps off a bus in the bustling city of New York, leaving behind his life in Minnesota. It's 1961, and he's about to make a name for himself as Bob Dylan. In the heart of Greenwich Village, a vibrant folk music scene was taking root. Here, among the coffee shops and clubs, Dylan found his stage. His voice, raw and honest, resonated with the crowd. His lyrics, steeped in social commentary and poetic imagery, captured the spirit of the times. Soon, Dylan's songs started to make waves. Blowin' in the Wind, a poignant critique of war and injustice, became an anthem for the civil rights movement. Its powerful lyrics posed questions that society struggled to answer, and it echoed in the hearts of millions, stirring a desire for change. Next came, Like a Rolling Stone, a defiant song that broke all the rules. With its biting lyrics and rock-infused sound, it challenged the status quo and transformed Dylan from a folk singer into a rock and roll star. The song's success marked a turning point in Dylan's career and in the music industry as a whole. It was clear that Dylan wasn't just another musician, he was a force to be reckoned with. In the midst of the social upheaval of the 60s, Dylan's songs became the soundtrack of a generation seeking change. His ability to blend folk with rock elements, coupled with his thought-provoking lyrics, made him a unique voice in the music scene. His songs didn't just reflect the times, they shaped them. They gave voice to the voiceless, challenged the powerful, and dared to dream of a better world. And as his music spread, so did his influence. Dylan was no longer just a singer, he was a symbol of the struggle for social justice and equality. With his poetic lyrics and distinct sound, Bob Dylan was quickly becoming the voice of his generation. In a time of turbulence and change, Dylan's music was a constant, evolving with the times. As the 1960s rolled on, the world saw a shift in the cultural and political landscape. Amidst this upheaval, Bob Dylan was a beacon of transformation, his music serving as both a reflection and catalyst of change. Dylan's musical innovation was his unique blend of folk with rock elements. He dared to merge the raw, poignant storytelling of folk music with the rebellious energy of rock and roll. This fusion not only expanded the possibilities of popular music, but also challenged the rigid genre boundaries of the time. One of the most pivotal moments in Dylan's career, and indeed in music history, was his controversial foray into electric music. At the 1965 Newport Folk Festival, Dylan strummed his electric guitar to a crowd of shocked folk purists. The boos and jeers from the audience echoed the resistance to change, but Dylan, unfazed, continued to plow ahead, creating a seismic shift in the musical landscape. This bold move by Dylan opened the floodgates for a new wave of musicians to experiment and innovate, blurring the lines between folk and rock. His influence extended beyond the realm of music, his lyrics resonating with the social and political zeitgeist of the time. Songs like The Times They Are A-Changin' became anthems for civil rights and anti-war movements, embodying the spirit of change and revolution. Dylan's impact was not confined to the music industry. His poetic lyrics and unconventional musical style challenged societal norms, encouraging his listeners to question authority and tradition. He became a cultural phenomenon, his music serving as a soundtrack to a generation in flux. The influence of Dylan's music was far-reaching, reshaping not only the soundscape but also the cultural landscape of the time. He was more than just a musician. He was a poet, a provocateur, and a voice for change. Dylan was not just a musician, but a cultural phenomenon, pushing boundaries and challenging norms. Over a career spanning 6 decades, Dylan's contribution to music has been nothing short of monumental. His influence is as widespread as it is profound. His homespun songs have not only shaped the music landscape, but also became anthems for social movements, resonating with millions around the globe. His record sales are a testament to his pervasive influence, with a staggering 125 million records sold worldwide. But his influence isn't just quantifiable in record sales. His work has also been recognized by the highest institutions of art and culture. Among the numerous awards he has received, the one that stands out is the Nobel Prize in Literature. This was a historic moment, as it marked the first time this prestigious award was given to a songwriter. In bestowing this honor, the Swedish Academy noted that Dylan had created new poetic expressions within the great American song tradition. His impact extends beyond the realm of music, permeating into popular culture and society at large. His songs have become part of the fabric of our collective consciousness, his lyrics quoted and referenced as much as any classical poet or philosopher. His enduring influence has solidified his status as a legendary figure in the music industry. And yet, despite all the accolades and the fame, Dylan remains a figure of enigma, his music continuing to inspire and challenge listeners around the world. His legacy is one of constant reinvention, of pushing boundaries, and of speaking truth to power through his art. From a young boy in Minnesota to a Nobel laureate, Dylan's journey is a testament to his talent and his timeless appeal. His music, his words, and his legacy continue to resonate, making him an enduring icon of our times. But it wasn't just popular music that beckoned Dylan, as it had with Bing Crosby, Elvis Presley, and Johnny Cash. Hollywood came calling. One of his earliest forays into film was the D.A. Pennebaker documentary Don't Look Back in 1967. While offering requisite concert footage, the film notably details behind-the-scenes moments, many in Dylan's hotel room. In 1973, noted film director Sam Peckinpah cast Dylan as sidekick to friend Chris Christopherson's amiable desperado in Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. A small part, Dylan still made it a scene stealer. It also marked his first feature soundtrack. 1978 saw the release of the experimental film Ronaldo and Clara. Directed by Dylan and shot with his then-wife Sarah, the film blurs the lines between reality and fiction, splicing in footage from Dylan's Rolling Thunder review tour. Dylan the artist has been the subject of 2 films of recent note. 2007's I'm Not There, directed by Todd Haynes, is an experimental biographical film in which several actors portray Dylan at various stages of his career. Christian Bale, Richard Gere, Heath Ledger, and even Cate Blanchett all embody the folk singer at one point or another. 2024's A Complete Unknown, directed by James Mangold, and based on the 2015 book Dylan Goes Electric by Elijah Wald, boasts Timothy Chalamet in the starring role, with Edward Norton as Pete Seeger and Boyd Holbrook as Johnny Cash. It has opened to positive reviews, particularly for Chalamet's portrayal and singing. As seen in Hollywood productions, Dylan's life story is a testament to the power of perseverance, the importance of innovation, and the undeniable influence of artistry. He has truly earned his place in the Pantheon of legends, not only for his remarkable musical achievements but also for his enduring impact on society. He has sold over 125 million records worldwide, received numerous awards, and even earned the Nobel Prize in Literature, an honor rarely bestowed upon musicians. His legacy continues to inspire future generations of artists, reminding us all of the transformative power of music. A loving father of 6 children, who he raised to share his love of art and music. The most famous of which is Jacob, lead singer of the Wallflowers, who had a hit single with One Headlight. And so, as we look back on Dylan's incredible journey, we are left with a profound sense of admiration and respect for this multi-talented figure. His story serves as a powerful reminder that with talent, passion, and a bit of defiance, one can truly change the world. And with that we conclude this entry into the Pantheon. Thank you for watching.